Stuart, I'm 19, I'm studying media at the University of London.
I'm Ben, I'm 21 years old and I'm studying zoology at Cambridge University.
I'm Deborah, I'm 20 and I'm studying fashion with management at Glasgow Caledonian University.
I'm Palak, I'm 21 and I'm studying medicine at St George's Hospital Medical School in London.
I'm Claire, I'm 22, I'm studying theoretical physics at the University of Leeds.
I'm Andrew, I'm 30 years old and I'm reading economics at the School of Oriental and African Studies.
I'm Jenny, I'm 20 and I'm studying sports science at Loughborough University.
My name's Katie, I'm 19 and I'm doing English literature at Oxford University.
My name's Nathan, I'm 22 and studying modern history at the University of East Anglia.
Now, the rules in each round, the aim is to answer enough questions correctly to reach your £1,000 target within the time limit. The fastest way is to create a chain of 9 correct answers. Get your question wrong and you break the chain and lose all the money in that chain. But if you say the word bank before the question is asked, the money is safe. However, you start a new chain from scratch. Remember, team, at the end of the round, only money that's been banked can be taken forward. In round 1, there are 3 minutes on the clock. We'll start with the person whose name is first alphabetically. That's you, Anne.
Once.
Correct, Jenny. Shepherds are employed primarily to look after which type of animal?
Sheep.
Correct, Katie. Which 2-letter word can mean out of bed, in residence at university, or in an excited state?
In.
Up. Nathan. In a supermarket, still, sparkling and mineral, or all types of which drink?
Water.
Correct. Stuart. In computing, what is the commonly used abbreviation for electronic mail?
Email.
Correct, Ben. Which series of children's books by J.K. Rowling features the characters Harry, Ron and Hermione?
Harry Potter.
Correct, Deborah. What is the general name for the entire implement used by both men and women for shaving?
Razor.
Correct, Palak. In jewellery, chokers, ropes of pearls and lockets are all normally worn round which part of the body?
The neck.
Correct, Claire. The party game in which players must either reveal a secret about themselves or perform a forfeit is called truth or what?
Dare.
Correct, Andrew. What's the first letter of the word chemistry?
C.
Correct, Jenny. In the UK, Larry is usually short for which boy's name?
Anthony.
Lawrence. Katie. The style of dance music which features rapping over music with a heavy bass beat is known as hip what?
Hop.
Correct, Nathan. In the home, twin tub and front loader are both types of which kitchen appliance?
Washing machine.
Correct. Stuart. If an animal is classified as a quadruped, it has how many feet?
4.
Correct, Ben.
Bang.
In body language, what name is given to a slight raising of the shoulders to indicate indifference or uncertainty?
Shrug.
Correct, Deborah. In UK education, what U is an institution that has the power to confer degrees?
University.
Correct, Palak. The word SWARK, written on the back of an envelope, is an acronym for sealed with a loving what?
Kiss.
Correct, Claire. In evolution, the natural selection of organisms that are best adapted to their environment is also known as survival of the what?
Fittest.
Correct, Andrew. In literature, there are how many novels in a trilogy?
3.
Correct, Jenny. In pop music, at the 2002 NME Awards, which female Australian singer won the Best Pop Act category?
Kylie Minogue.
Correct, Katie.
Bank.
In fashion, the making of a hole in the nose, tongue or navel in order to insert rings or other objects is called body what?
Piercing.
Correct, Nathan. In families, what relation to you is the child of your aunt or uncle?
Nephew.
Cousin. Stuart, what A is a mishap or unforeseen event?
Accident.
Correct, Ben. In the British education system, the initials RE stand for which subject?
Religious education.
Correct, Deborah.
Bank.
In electricity, what name is given to the brown wire on a domestic 3-pin plug?
Neutral.
Live. Palak. In maths, what is 1/2 of 26?
13.
Correct, Claire. In a 2002 Morris survey, who were found to be spending... Time's up. I cannot complete the question. And in that first round, you achieved a rather sad £800. Sad because at one point you had a chain of 10 correct answers. Who banked in a...
Resist myself. I'm sorry.
You can't resist yourself or you can't resist me.
Bit of both.
What do you do?
I'm a media student.
A media student.
Yes.
What's the point of that?
I have absolutely no idea.
What do you want to be when you grow up?
TV presenter.
What qualities do you have that make anyone think you'd make a good TV presenter?
I'm actually quite nice. That's one of the things.
Well,
I'm
that's
actually
going to
quite
be
polite.
a tremendous drawback. Why have you voted for Nathan?
To be honest, I don't really like the look of him. If it has to be said.
So, Ben, permed or natural?
No, it's all natural, Anne. Try to restrain your jealousy.
How does it go down with women?
It seems to give me a bit of a cute air to some women.
What do you do?
I study zoology, Anne.
Why?
Because it's quite important to know about how populations interact.
Why?
Well, farming, for instance, and fish. We're currently in the middle of a fish crisis, and if you want your fish and chips at the end of the day, then some people have got to know how many fish we can take out of the water.
Good. And is that what you're going to do when you leave Cambridge?
It may well be.
Why Katie?
I think I'm going to go for Katie because she's opposite me, and I'm feeling a bit confronted by her over there.
Deborah, how clever are you with that board?
How clever do you need to be?
Well, I'd like you to hold it in your right hand and put it down at your side. Good. Are you going on to a nightclub?
No. I'm a fashion student, Anne.
That's no excuse.
It is. I like to present myself nicely.
Well, who on earth would want to wear that?
Obviously myself.
Deborah, you've got to appeal to a wider audience than just Deborah.
I could help you out with your wardrobe, Anne.
No, thank you, Deborah.
Introduce a little bit of colour.
OK, hold your board up again.
Thank you.
Why Jenny?
There was 4 people that got a question wrong, me being one of them, before you start. I had to choose someone out of those 4.
Right, well, when the vote is tied, the strongest link has to cast the deciding vote. Alec, why did you vote for Jenny?
Well, even though she's too looking for her own goods, I should say the reason I voted for her because she got the Larry question wrong for Lawrence. It's just the way she actually got it wrong. She said Anthony instead of, well, anything else beginning with L.
Why do you talk so quickly?
Just since birth I've spoken really fast, get more words in.
And you're going to be a doctor, are you?
I am indeed, Anne.
Do they have a section where they start teaching you to speak nicely so we'll understand you?
They do indeed, Anne.
Good. You haven't gone on the course yet?
No, I haven't, no.
OK, well, you now have a choice. Who do you want to get rid of?
I'll stick with my choice and go with Jenny.
OK. Well, interestingly, Palak, you must be a clever little medical student because, statistically, she was the worst player.
Next was, I think, putting as a pretty girl as a reason for voting someone off is completely wrong.
Round 2, team. So far, you've put in the kitty £800. We're now taking 10 seconds off your time. We'll start with the strongest link from the last round. That's Palak. Let's play the weakest link. Start clock. Palak, in employment, an actuary works in which field? Beekeeping or insurance?
Insurance.
Correct, Claire. In TV, what is the surname of the presenter Ant who comprises one half of the duo Ant and Dec?
McPartlin.
Correct. Andrew. An amusing but unproven story that happened to a friend of a friend is known as an urban what?
Myth.
Correct, Katie. In politics, in June 2001, Estelle Morris was appointed Secretary of State for what and skills?
Education.
Correct, Nathan. Don King is a leading promoter in which sport?
Boxing.
Correct.
Bank.
Stuart, in film, which female singer took her first starring role in the 2002 film Crossroads?
Britney Spears.
Correct, Ben. The 1950 children's book by C.S. Lewis is called The Lion, the Witch and the what?
Wardrobe.
Correct, Deborah. Someone who is eager and alert can be described as being bright-eyed and bushy what?
Tailed.
Correct, Palak. In March 2002 at Madame Tussauds, which footballer went on display as a waxwork with a mechanical beating heart?
Michael Owen.
David Beckham. Claire. In grammar, at and from are examples of which class of word which many people believe it is incorrect to end a sentence with?
Oh, no.
No prepositions. Andrew, according to a survey by the Guide Association released in February 2002, 40% of schoolgirls did not know how to boil which food item?
An egg.
Correct, Katie. In human physiology, where in the body is ammonia converted into urea, the brain or the liver?
The liver.
Correct, Nathan. In pop music in 2001, the words to the UK #1 single by DJ Pied Piper are "Do you really like it?" Is it what?
Pass.
No, Wicked. Stuart. In publishing, what C is the list at the beginning of a book of all the chapters in the order in which they occur plus their page numbers?
Contents.
Correct, Ben. According to legend, Androcles pulled an embedded sword from which part of the body of a lion?
Paul.
Correct, Deborah. Distinguished by having a body usually covered with feathers and forelimbs modified as wings, the class Ivies is better known by what name?
Birds.
Correct. Halleck.
Blank.
In maths, what sort of graph is a histogram, a bar chart or a pie chart?
It's a bar graph.
Correct. Claire, in TV in March 2002, Somerville College, Oxford was the winning team in the final of which BBC Two quiz show?
University Challenge.
Correct, Andrew. In geography, Bangkok is the capital city of which country?
Thailand.
Correct, Katie.
Blank.
Which dairy product was advertised in 2001 with the slogan, "The white stuff, are you made of it"?
Milk.
Correct, Nathan. In industry, what A means the repeated and widespread failure of employees to turn up for work for no good reason?
Affliction.
Absenteeism. Stuart, in language, if your friends want you to stay calm...
I've given a chance anyway. I'm not usually self-depreciating, but today I didn't perform very well at all. I'd like to see Stuart get voted off in the next round, because in the first round he said he didn't like me because of the way I looked.
Round 3. You have got a tragically small amount in the bank of £1,300. Another 10 seconds coming off the time. We'll start with the strongest link from the last round. That's Katie. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Katie, in popular culture, which Radio 1 breakfast show presenter married the DJ John Carter in October 2001?
Pass.
No, Sarah Cox. Stuart, what are classified using the Dewey Decimal System, animals or books?
Books.
Correct, Ben. In sport, in September 2000, it was announced that Yokohama would host the final of which 2002 event?
The World Cup.
Correct, Deborah. In military history, the battles of Ypres took place during which World War?
2.
1. Palak.
Bank.
In the animal kingdom, the large deer that is called a moose in North America is known in Europe by what three-letter name?
Doe.
Elk. Claire. On the internet, what H is the introductory page on a website which usually contains links to other documents within the site?
Homepage.
Correct, Andrew. In education, both Bill and Chelsea Clinton have studied at which English university?
Oxford.
Correct, Katie.
Bank.
In TV, which BBC game show presented by Ulrika Johnson takes its title from an expression about ruthless canines?
Pass.
Dog eat dog. Stuart, in geography, what T is the term for a river that flows into another river rather than into a lake or the sea?
Tributary.
Correct, Ben. In politics, who succeeded Paddy Ashdown as leader of the Liberal Democrats?
Charles Kennedy.
Correct, Deborah. In literature, what did Dr. Samuel Johnson publish in 1755? An English translation of the Bible or an English dictionary?
Dictionary.
Correct,
Bank.
Malik. In maths, what is 7 times 8?
56.
Correct, Claire. In language, something that is ordinary and plain could be described as bog what?
Standard.
Correct, Andrew. In entertainment, in January 2002, former Atomic Kitten singer Kerry Katona married which member of the Irish boy band Westlife?
I have no idea.
Brian McFadden. Katie, which letter of the alphabet is a musical note, a blood group and an article in English language?
A.
Correct. Stuart, which three-letter word means good in slang and the opposite of good in standard English?
Bad.
Correct, Ben. In the performing arts, John Hegley and John Cooper Clarke are both what? Ventriloquists or poets?
Poets.
Correct, Deborah. In netball positions, the initial C stands for what?
Centre.
Correct, Palak. What name is given to fast food that is cooked in a restaurant for consumption off the premises?
Takeaway.
Correct,
Bank.
Claire. In logic, what P is the name for a self-contradictory proposition such as I always tell lies?
I don't know, pass.
Paradox. Andrew, in pop music, the tooth...
Because I'm from Oxford, he's from Cambridge. Ancient rivalry. He's got to go.
Round 4. Out of a possible £3,000, you've banked £1,600. You're down to 6 players. Another 10 seconds coming off the time. We'll start with the strongest link from the last round. That's Ben! Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Ben, in TV, the 2002 four-part historical documentary called Civil War analysed the Civil War of which country, England or Spain?
England.
Correct, Deborah. The phrase de facto, literally meaning of fact, comes from which language?
Latin.
Correct, Palak. In politics, Garret Fitzgerald and John Bruton have each served as Prime Minister of which European country?
Scotland.
Republic of Ireland. Claire, In biology, what A means an organism which has reached full growth and development?
Adult.
Correct, Andrew. In schools, what common sports day event is run by a number of competitors, each carrying an item of food and a piece of cutlery?
The egg and spoon race.
Correct.
Bank.
Stuart, in literature, in the name of the poet and dramatist T.S. Eliot, the letter T stands for what?
Thomas.
Correct. Ben. In government, what A is the term for a state of lawlessness and political disorder owing to the absence or inefficiency of the supreme power?
Anarchy.
Correct. Deborah. In maths, a calculation that involves division where the divisor is usually greater than 12 and the working out is shown in full is known as what division?
Pass.
Long division. Palek, in aviation history, what was the surname of the brothers who made the first powered aeroplane flight in 1903?
Right.
Correct. Claire, in pop music, which band had a UK hit single in 2002 with Asleep in the Back, Elbow or Pelvis?
Elbow.
Correct. Andrew, in art, what's the name of the statue which overlooks the A1 near Gateshead?
The Angel of the North.
Correct.
Bang.
Stuart, in language, which word is a collective term both for a group of fish and for an educational establishment for children?
School.
Correct. Ben. In medicine, what A is the name for the unsightly skin disease caused by inflammation of the sebaceous follicles?
Acne.
Correct. Deborah.
Bank.
In TV, the female presenter who joined Newsnight in 1993 is Kirsty who?
Young.
Walk. Palek. In finance, in which colour are you said to be if you are running at a loss or in debt?
In the red.
Correct. Claire. In food and drink, what name is given to the process of making whiskey, distillation or brewing?
Distillation.
Correct. Andrew. In explaining chaos theory, the flapping of the wings of which creature is often said to cause a hurricane?
Butterfly.
Correct. Stuart.
Bank.
In geography, Bavaria and Brandenburg are both states in which country?
Germany.
Correct. Ben. What name is given to a small container for ink often fitted into a hole in a desk? Time's up. The correct answer, which I don't think looked as if it was on the tip of your tongue, Ben, is inkwell. And in that round, you only managed to win £300.
Pretty much. It's very black, very bland, and she got voted worst dressed person, so it doesn't say much for her fashion sense, does it? I think the team should vote off next Palek because he's missing a few questions, getting them wrong, and being a bit hesitant.
Round 5, your total so far is £1,900. Another 10 seconds coming off the time. We'll start with the strongest link from the last round. That's Stuart. Let's play the weakest link. Stop. Stuart, what ale is the name given to herb-flavoured, spirit-based alcoholic drinks such as Benedictine, Chanteuse and Cointreau?
Liqueur.
Correct. Ben. The card games called Solitaire in the US are known by what name in the UK?
Patience.
Correct. Palek. In TV, the 2002 quiz show called Class Of, in which teams are tested on their knowledge of the year they left school, is presented by Zoe who?
Paul.
Correct. Claire. In higher maths, which letter of the alphabet is the symbol that represents the imaginary square root of -1? I or X?
I.
Correct. Andrew.
Bank.
Which slang word, the title of a UK #1 single by the Spice Girls, means someone who aspires to be a celebrity?
Wannabe.
Correct. Stuart, in language, what R is the art of persuasion through oratory?
Rhetoric.
Correct. Ben, the motto of the Scout Association is be what?
Prepared.
Correct. Palek, in biology, the quadriceps is a muscle situated in which part of the human body, the forearm or the thigh?
The thigh.
Correct. Claire. The actor who starred in the 2001 film Glitter alongside Mariah Carey is Max who?
Pass.
Beasley. Andrew, in psychology, what S describes a message such as an image flashed on a screen that is delivered without conscious perception?
Subliminal message.
Correct. Stuart. In TV, the name of which BBC music show is often abbreviated to the letters TOTP?
Top of the Pops.
Correct. Ben. In UK higher education, in the degree abbreviations MA and MSc, the letter M stands for what?
Master.
Correct.
Bank.
Palek. The French phrase à bientôt means what? I love you or see you soon?
See you soon.
Correct. Claire. In the beauty industry, an emery board might be used to shape which parts of the body?
Nail.
Correct. Andrew. The author of the 1960 novel To Kill a Mockingbird was Harper who?
Lee.
Correct. Stuart. In grammar, what T is a type of verb that takes a direct object?
Pass.
Transitive. Ben. In pop music, which female group had a 2002 UK hit single with Be With Me?
Sugar Babes.
Mystique. Palak, which national daily newspaper is sometimes jokingly referred to as the Groniad because of its reputation for typographical errors? Time's up. The correct answer is The Guardian. You only banked £400. You need to be ruthless to be rich.
I would definitely like to see Stuart voted off in the next rounds. He consistently voted me off, even though I was never the weakest link.
Round 6, and you've struggled up to £2,300. You're down to 4 players, another 10 seconds coming off the time. We'll start with the strongest link from the last round. That's Andrew. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Andrew, in sport, a regatta is a series of races using which mode of transport, boats or motorcycles?
Boats.
Correct, Stuart. In education, Thomas Arnold was a famous headmaster at which public school?
Eton.
Rugby. Ben, in language, what P is a 3-letter word for a play on words?
Pun.
Correct, Claire. In maths, what is 26 multiplied by 10?
260.
Correct, Andrew. In psychology, which personal characteristic is typified by sociability and interest in things outside the self, introversion or extroversion?
Extroversion.
Correct,
Bank.
Stuart. Which Shakespearean character shares his name with the equivalent of the ball in ice hockey?
Pass.
Puck. Ben. In February 2002, which pop singer was ordered by a judge to pay royalties to the owners of a song whose lyrics he had plagiarised?
Puff Daddy.
Robbie Williams. Claire, in typing, which 6-letter word means to begin further in from the margin than the rest of the paragraph?
Indent.
Correct, Andrew. In a pub, if an Australian orders an amber nectar, he or she is asking for which drink, white wine or lager?
Lager.
Correct,
Bank.
Stuart. In American literature, Jack Kerouac, Allen Ginsberg and William Burroughs were prominent members of which 1950s literary movement?
The New Wave.
No, the Beat movement. Ben, what F is a 3-letter word for a young public schoolboy who performs menial chores for an older boy?
Fop.
Fag. Claire, in sport, in January 2002, which female tennis player retained her Australian Open singles title?
Steffi Graf.
No, Jennifer Capriati. Andrew, the painter Paul Gauguin belonged to which art movement, post-impressionism or surrealism?
Post-impressionism.
Correct, Stuart. In maths, what is 3/4 of 200?
150.
Correct, Ben. What S is the name of the sport also known as free-fall parachuting?
Skydiving.
Correct, Claire.
Bank.
In language, which word can precede bike, book and yard to make the names of 3 well-known terms?
Pass.
Exercise. Andrew, in cartoons, what type of animal is the Disney character Pluto?
Dog. Bank.
Time's up. Dog was the correct answer. You were in time. The bank was not in time. And you only banked altogether £250. Which university is missing it?
Didn't quite get me off till near the end. If it was up to me, all of them would get voted off in the next round because obviously it should have been me that won.
Round 7 so far, you've banked £2,550 out of a possible 6,000. You're down to 3 players. Another 10 seconds coming off the time. We'll start with the strongest link from the last round. That's Andrew. Let's play the weakest link. Start the clock. Andrew, in literature, Rudyard Kipling wrote the poem Gunga what?
Din.
Correct, Stuart. In the UK, the official birthday of the Queen is celebrated in which month?
August.
June. Ben, the artist Damien Hirst is renowned for preserving animals in which chemical to create his works?
Formaldehyde.
Correct, Andrew. In pop music, which British group had a 2002 UK hit single with a song called You?
No idea.
S Club 7. Stuart, the football team Hamilton Academical is based in which Scottish city?
Glasgow.
Correct. Ben, in clothing, old school bow and bootlace are all names of types of which male garment?
Tie.
Correct, Andrew. Which internationally famous mausoleum was built on the instruction of Emperor Shah Jahan after the death of his favourite wife in 1631?
Taj Mahal.
Correct,
Bank.
Stuart. In literature, the 19th century Tolstoy novel Anna Karenina is set in which country?
Russia.
Correct, Ben. In science, the study of animals, plants and minerals is sometimes referred to as what sort of history?
Natural.
Correct, Andrew. From 2000 to 2002, Owain James was president of the National Union of what?
Students.
Correct, Stuart. In geography, in which ocean are the Canary Islands?
The Atlantic.
Correct, Ben. At the Academy Awards in March 2002, what was voted best film?
A Beautiful Mind.
Correct. Andrew, in which sport is the ball usually dimpled and normally measures 1.68 inches in diameter?
Golf ball.
Correct.
Bank.
Stuart. In history, which 19th century American president was nicknamed Honest Abe?
Abraham Lincoln.
Correct, Ben. In pop music, which female singer had her first UK #1 single in 1986 with Papa Don't Preach?
Madonna.
Correct, Andrew. In literature, what is the surname of Ted, the poet laureate who wrote the collection The Hawk in the Rain?
Hughes.
Correct,
Bank.
Stuart. In finance, which word can follow current, saving and deposit to make the names of 3 types of banking arrangement?
Account.
Correct, Ben. In biology, the cornea and lens are part of which sensory organ?
Eye.
Correct,
Bank.
Andrew. What is the name of the toy designed to be kept in motion around the waist by swinging the hip? Time's up. You won £450. Now, in round 8, you get the chance to treble what you bank, which means there's £3,000 to be won in the next round alone. The question is, who are you going to hang on to? Who are you going to get? Is applied to the area around the eye, especially the lid?
Mascara.
Eyeshadow. Stuart, in language, a periodic lack of creative inspiration which may affect authors is known as writer's what?
Block.
Correct, Ben. In 2001, which artist, the grandson of Sigmund Freud, painted a controversial portrait of Queen Elizabeth II?
Lucian Freud.
Correct,
Bank.
Stuart. In which US state is the famous Golden Gate Bridge?
San Francisco.
California. Ben. Which 4-letter word is the opposite of both less and fewer?
More.
Correct, Stuart. In football, in February 2002, which club signed David Ginola on a free transfer from Aston Villa?
Arsenal.
Everton. Ben. In rail travel, Ashford International Passenger Station is in which English county?
Kent.
Correct, Stuart. In health, a programme of exercises to maintain the body in good physical condition is known as Keep What?
Fit.
Correct. Ben. In pop music, the singer who had a 2001 UK hit single with Family Affair is Mary J. Who?
Blige.
Correct. Stuart,
Bank.
in pet care, what name is given to the leather or webbing strap attached to the collar of a dog and used to control it while walking?
Lead.
Correct, Ben. In food, which type of steak is named after and resembles a letter of the alphabet?
T-bone.
Correct, Stuart.
Bank.
Which sport plays by the Harvard rules?
Cricket.
American football. Ben. Which member of the royal family is Chancellor of the University of Edinburgh?
Prince Philip.
Correct, Stuart. In medicine, a dialyser, or artificial kidney, filters and removes harmful substances from which bodily... Time's up. You managed to bank £170, which will treble and add to the winnings from the previous rounds. That means prize money today of £3,510, but of course only one of you can take it home. So now you'll play against each other head-to-head. I'll ask alternating questions best of 5. Whoever answers the most questions correctly wins. It's as simple as that. So Stuart and Ben for £3,510. Let's play the weakest link. Ben, as the strongest link in the last round, you have the choice of who goes first.
I'd like Stuart to go first, please, Anne.
Stuart, in geography, which country is bordered by Belgium, Luxembourg, Germany, Switzerland, Italy and Spain?
France.
That is the correct answer. Ben, what name is shared by a fruit native to North America, the title character of a Mark Twain novel, and a blue cartoon dog who speaks with a drawl?
Huckleberry.
That is the correct answer. Stuart, in children's literature, according to a cautionary tale by the poet Hilaire Belloc, who tells such dreadful lies?
The little boy.
No, the correct answer is Matilda. Ben, in February 2002, an exhibition of the work of which pop artist opened at Tate Modern in London?
Andy Warhol.
That is the correct answer. Stuart, in TV, the drama series ER is based on an actual hospital in which US city?
Los Angeles.
No, the correct answer is Chicago. Ben, the word flamingo, pagoda and marmalade are all derived from which modern language?
Mandarin.
No, the correct answer is Portuguese. Stuart, in February 2002, the rights to the diaries of which deceased rock star of the 1990s were posthumously purchased in a $4 million book deal?
Michael Hutchence.
No, the correct answer is Kurt Cobain. Ben, If you answer this question correctly, you have won, so for £3,510. In British wildlife, what is the common name of the dog-like predator whose scientific name is Vulpes? Vulpes.
Or third round.
I didn't really have a game plan today, but I'm fantastically amazed with how far I got, bearing in mind I didn't really know what I was doing.
I just feel amazing. I never expected to come this far. And now I have money as well, so I can go and buy chocolate and beer and pay off my student loan.